Hi, the first article I will be analyzing is from page 170, Threat to Whom, Conflict, Consensus, and Social Control. The first question that this article brings to the table is, do police crackdowns happen from what the elite perceive as a threat to society? Well, the conflict theory argues that these police crackdowns happen when a community of color, most likely, is perceived as a threat to the white society. And then there starts to be an increase of social control in that community. The reason why social control in these types of neighborhoods begin to increase is because the white people establish that they are threatened, and therefore they most likely have more influence in their communities, and they're able to express how they feel and send people to go socially control that area. This article later goes on to critique Marxism and conflict theory, which does a very nice job because it explains what some people might argue on the laws, that they do not always seem to protect the interests of everyone, and that they are differently enforced on certain groups. The second article talks about how white-collar criminals protect their own, in a way. And I really like this article because it is able to state what social conflict theory is, and then Marxist criminology. So social conflict theory suggests that powerful and wealthy people represent the elite ruling class in society, and holds that social order is maintained by domination and power because they have a lot of money, rather than by consensus and conformity. And those who are in wealth and who are powerful suppress the poor and powerless individuals. But the reason that they are able to do this is because the poor, well, they don't have money, and because they don't have a lot of money, they don't always have a lot of influence. And then it also talks about Marxist criminology, and it talks about its views on competitive nature and capitalist system. So Karl Marx would say that the capitalist system creates conflict and inequality because of power differentials. Some people were born into the top, and other people were born with nothing and had to work their way up to the top. And not everybody is able to get through all the obstacles to get to that, whether it comes to money or sometimes even opportunity. And conflict would arise whenever there is a struggle for power. This article is 16 pages, and it gives reasons why white-collar criminals It gives reasons why the prosecution and conviction rate for white-collar criminals is very low compared to crimes that are actually violent or aggressive. And so I was really interested in the fact that this article talks about that many of these criminals don't have to appear before a sentencing judge. And if they do, then they have the right, or they can claim that it is their first time offending. And because these people are of high status and considered to be elite, well, I'm pretty sure the judge has the inclination, or that the judges are inclined to believe them, pardon me. And it gives reasons why. The reason one is because it will reduce conflict, It reduces conflict, between their relationships and their businesses. And reason 2 is because of a government influence. So a lot of the times, these businesses have government influence because they are of big business, big bucks. And the third reason I will directly quote from the article. The third reason for the prosecution of wealthy and powerful is that their own laws did not intend to target members of their own class. So this becomes more of a class issue. In America, we do have the class system. We have the lower class, the middle class, and the higher class. I agree with conflict theory because I do think that having a lot of people in power and then them being able to cover for themselves is unfair, and it puts the people who are already at the bottom, it gives them less of an opportunity to be able to move up. And although in this capitalist society that we live in, it's supposed to be that everybody is able to move up, and if they make enough money, they can buy this franchise, and they make enough money, they can do this, and then all the rich people buy all the big corporations, and then they control everything, like Mr. Laughlin talked about in class. And yeah, that's why I agree with conflict theory. Another reason why I agree with conflict theory is because of the third edition Deviant and Social Control by Michelle Inderbitzen. Excuse me. Kristen A. Bates and Randy R. Gamey. Page 385. It talks about Steven Spritzer and his expand on Karl Marx's thoughts. And like I was talking about why I agree with conflict theory, and I stated my reason for the capitalism aspect of it, he even states that capitalism grew to be a monopoly type of